the Djinn, and I love you guys all. Let's get into it. Today, before I get into it, like, subscribe, comment down below, and again, welcome to the Den of the Djinn. I am your host, Kendor. Today, we're going to be talking about something interesting that happened, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and I found the story, and it kind of needed to be out there. Um, it was kind of one of those heartwarming stories in a sense where it was kind of disgusting at the same time. Let me explain. So apparently, it was a story about a little kid, right? Going up to their parents, and apparently a Sunday school, right? A Sunday school, basically a priest. Yes, folks, we're going to talk about a priest story, and it was 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly the timing of it. It was pretty vague about it. It was pretty vague, but I'm not all that surprised because there are people out there that is the most disgusting out there. So basically, this priest, mind you, crossed a few lines. Not. Let me make this very clear, guys. The priest didn't actually touch, according to the story, but got so close that the kids did not want to be anywhere near this guy. And mind you, there is a big difference between being attentive, guys, and being uberly close to someone. And mind you, these kids knew exactly what too close was all about. And they basically told their parents that, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this teacher. Well, apparently there was an investigation, guys, that apparently this church decided we're not going to divulge that information because, well, God had forgiven him. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Just because he doesn't mean we should. Because let me ask you this. How would you feel about someone getting that close, like saying, good job, Timmy, or good job, Susie, patting the kid, basically massaging the kid too much, getting way too close. And me personally, I'm like, nah. You don't need to touch my kid. You don't need to touch my kid. You don't need to touch anyone. You don't even need to get that near of my kid. I mean, it's disgusting thinking that people okay that kind of thing. Look, I don't mind, positive reinforcement. Good job, Simi. Good job, Susie. All that. That's cool. That's awesome. But you don't need to touch them for that. Hell, give them a high five. It's the only thing I'm allowing. Because at least that way, the kid knows that they have, they've done good. High five, low five, whatever. But never get that close. As far as your arm reaches, I'm okay with. But never close enough where you have to rub their back, No, none of that, guys. Because I would feel like kind of violated a little bit if that happened to me. That would make me feel very uncomfortable. The only time I'll ever let anybody touch me like that is if we were intimate. And mind you, again, that's as adults, guys. You shouldn't be doing that as an adult. Mind you, if you're giving your own child, massages, that's a whole different thing. Because one, there is a big difference between giving them a massage to make them feel better. I'm just saying, there is a limit, guys. There really is, even if it's your own child. But anyway, long story short, I'm listening to this story. Mind you, it was a story that you hear on YouTube and everything. If you look up some of these stories, they are disgusting half the time. And I'm actually surprised it passes YouTube. I'm going to be honest. But, apparently they skip enough details where it's allowed, I guess. I mean, I guess. But Anyway, so you listen to these stories, and it was just as bad that this priest got that touchy feely with these kids. Mind you, these kids, 9, 8 years old. I'm like, okay, first of all, when they're about 8 or 9 years old, they start developing the idea of, boundaries. And I hope to the gods by that point, you as parents teach them there are boundaries that, other adults should never cross. I feel like that should be key one. It's like, if you don't feel comfortable with someone getting that close to you, yes, tell a teacher, tell, an adult, tell someone, guys. And honestly, I feel like not we don't tell kids this enough because we normalize, allowing predators now getting close to our kids. Like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about people being okay with getting that damn close to your kids, either, in real life or even virtually. The whole Roblox scandal, honestly, it didn't blow up nearly enough as it should have. Roblox itself should have been shut down just because of that, guys. I'm sorry. I understand a lot of kids play it, and I understand that. It's like that's why we have that other game, Minecraft, because it's not all that different. But you know what the big difference is? We don't condone that, and at least Minecraft has the server. They actually monitor that crap. They actually see, hey, these guys are being inappropriate, in a sense where you're alluring kids into a server and you're doing unspeakable things. Mind you, yes, it's virtual, but at the same time, it's still disgusting, because, guys, you're teaching your kid that this kind of attitude is okay, and now when they grow up a little more, they will never know what is okay in a relationship because they crossed it way too young. I'm just saying, guys, there should be a boundary, guys, and we're skipping over it. We're doing double dutch over it. For fuck's sake, guys, we're hopping over it more often than anything. It is disgusting. We are allowing predators that close to our kids. Mind you, I get it. It's hard to know the difference between a normal person and a predator, because a lot of times predators know that they are predators and they shouldn't be around kids, so they hide it. And the problem I have is we have the ability to prosecute some of these guys, some of these people. But we don't do it because, oh, well, they're sick. They're sick. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? You know what happens when you're sick? We try to cure you. Yes, we try to cure you. But we also try to mitigate the symptoms so it never happens again, or at least it doesn't happen as often. Do you want to know what we try to do with most diseases? We look at the bottom line, what made you sick in the first place, and then cut it out. I'm just saying. That's what we do that's what they do. I'm not saying we, because apparently I'm not a medical professional, but I'm saying that's exactly what they do. They look at the bottom line of what happened, how it occurred, and try to make sure they cure the underlying symptoms, and they tell you, hey, avoid this in the future because it will happen again and again. So that's what we should do in our public system, in our law system, that we look at the underlying behaviors and we cut it out of a society. Sure. I wouldn't know if you're putting it on here. Thank you, appreciate it. By the way, if you haven't already, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel. And I'm just saying, guys, I hate people. Like I said, the story basically ends. The kids are taken out of that program. It turns out the guy was basically a fraud, and he was in there because, like I said, he was a pervert, and he if he hadn't been caught, he would have done a lot of other things, and it was disgusting to hear about that. But the one person that they should have easily have listened to was a little 8-year-old kid, a little 8-year-old little girl, I think it was. A little 8-year-old little girl, let's call her Susie, basically said, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with this guy getting that close to me because he keeps like rubbing up on my back, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with it. He gets really, really close to me. I don't like it, and I want to." And I basically told her parents that I want to get out of the program because I don't enjoy being around this guy. Parents at first did not want to listen because they were super highly religious, and that's a whole different thing I'm not going to go into. They were super high religious, but more the mom. The dad was more inclined to listen to his daughter, and the dad goes, "Oh well, let me go see what's going on." And the mom was so emphatic, and it's like, "Come on, he's a priest. He has to be very close," and try to basically blah 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 blah. And he basically said, "I want to see what happens because our little girl, she was raised not to lie. She was raised to be honest, which is a good thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. She's raised to be honest. Good thing. And good thing she was, because she was not lying. She was obviously telling the truth. The dad actually had enough hope and respect for his daughter that he went over and saw what was going down. The little girl, and mind you, this is what happened. Apparently, behind his behind his wife's back, because apparently she was fully committed to believing everybody but her child and her husband. Yeah, long story short on that one, they got divorced because apparently her religion basically said we have to obey the God of the word of God, and apparently that also meant if the church says that this is not happening, it's not happening, and that was how. Apparently, that started a kind of a splint in their relationship. She was basically emphatically trying to disprove her daughter's claims when it comes to that. It was horrible. I'm like, oh my God, how come you did not see the red flags earlier? According to the story, there was red flags, but apparently they were in that honeymoon stage, as far as that goes, where the relationship was, in his mind, still good enough where he didn't see the red flags as they were red flags. He saw them as irritations, but not red flags. But when all this happened, he started seeing them for what they were, which honestly, I felt like 8 years is more than enough. But that's just me. Jackson, shut. Hey, I like that. If you're one of the Jackson 5, I'm just kidding. No, I know you're not. If you're if you love Michael Jackson, hit me a in the comments. I'm kidding, guys. But anyway, yeah, the story was just bad. The long story short, the dad basically puts a little camera in the kid's backpack, and basically I don't remember how it went, but oh no, it was not like his backpack, like in some kind of like collar or something. The little kid had a uniform or something for their seminary school, and they had a little tiny little camera that was basically clipped to her shirt, and they basically showed everything what was going on. It showed video of what this pervert was doing, and honestly, it got to the point where they even got some audio of the priest going up to the little girl and basically saying, and no, it was dude, I heard it, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. The guy apparently goes up to the little girl and basically says, "You look delicious, little girl. or something of that nature. Like equally as disgusting. I almost vomited. Mind you, I was eating when I heard this story. I wanted to stop eating right there and then because I wanted to vomit. It was just disgusting. Like he says this, and then he apparently does the most creepiest thing in the world. Grabs a bit of her hair a little bit and starts sniffing. I'm like, oh my god, you never do that shit to anybody, not even a grown woman. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you guys, it's one thing if you as adults are into that sniffing thing, like if you love certain aromas and your partner okays this, that's a whole different thing because you're adults. But don't ever do that to kids or somebody else that you don't know. Don't ever do that shit because that is creepy as motherfucker. Again, it's one thing if you two are freaks and you want to do it to get off on yourselves. Awesome, do it to yourselves. Do not do it to kids, especially not when it's never. Even if it is your kid, just don't. Like only towards your spouse that allows you to do it. Like that is disgusting beyond measure. I like I said, I'm thinking about it right now, and I had a pretty decent lunch. I wanted to vomit a little bit. Anyway, let's skip that part because I'm turning green already. That's how bad this guy really pissed me off. Anyway, so again, this is going down, recorded everything, and then a little girl with basically the cutest little factor of it's like mission accomplished, daddy kind of thing. And I was laughing my ass off because apparently the little girl not really said that, but like had that almost military bearing when she got home. And he basically said, "You good job, little one," and looks into it. Apparently the wife saw it and she turned chalk white, and she goes, "I can't let I can't let this video be seen." I was like, well, why not? We got to get this guy out of here because he's not only doing it to our kids, but he's doing it to other kids too. Apparently, this woman was so emphatic that no priest can be human that she was willing to blow up her entire marriage because of it. And it was done. Like he basically said, either you get over this little concept, or we're done. I'm sick and tired of having to argue about our child's, autonomy over a church being a pervert. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy basically forsaken the church because of this aspect. Don't get me wrong. Not all churches are bad. Not all priests are bad. Just the problem is, a lot of times, in fact, it's a very high, I'd say 40 to 60% of within the favor of the church. A lot of times, the church does not look into this shit. And if they do, they try to make random reasons, random excuses to get them over it. I wouldn't let you go anywhere near me, bud. I'd rather kick you so hard you cough up your own balls. So, try it, jackass. Again, I'd either kick or punch you so hard you cough up your own balls. And just for shits and giggles, I'd go Shadouken. Again, just for shits and giggles. Anyhow, that is going to be it for tonight. And by the way, the end of the story is, yes, the little girl finally got some justice. Definitely a lot of therapy because that poor kid. The mom and dad basically divorced. And that entire seminary school was investigated, found out that there was a lot of fraud, including the fraudulent priest. Uh, the whole chapter, that whole chapter, basically was in itself its own fraud. So basically, yeah, it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. The story, like every outcome you can think of that was just bad, aside from anybody losing their lives, it was anything short of that. That everything happened, divorce, criminal mischief, all that shit. It was just horrible. It made me think to myself, like, oh my god. And the worst part is, I don't doubt that this happened at least once. Not every, mind you, I'm pretty sure this story was AI generated, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it was. But if it actually happened, again, I still wouldn't be surprised, because there are some sickos out there, and a lot of them, no, I'm waiting until 4 because I gotta go in. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next. And again, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you guys again in the next. My brain is one of those records, and I'm trying to get it to work again. Anyway, take care, be safe. This is your friendly neighborhood gamer Djinn Candor, wishing you love, luck, happiness, and to anyone out there giving me shit, well, I hope you get it back. Take care.